pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Guys, I have enough time to look over the minutes of the last meeting. Do you have any additions or corrections? I'll accept the motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the meeting on March 2nd, 2026.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? Matt, do you have anything?
Just bring you guys up to speed just real quick. What we've had major water main break down on Harrison and Pierce Street area. Still working on trying to get water back to those folks. We're up to 13 leaks right now. Replaced roughly 60 foot of pipe at this time. So Cooley Contracting's helping us with that job right now. Hoping to get water back on before too long for them.
How many people is that affecting?
Derek, I'm not sure right now. We've been having to turn and keep going. So yeah, it's been a mess. We've been at it since about 1:30 last night with it.
Anybody else have anything, Matt? Okay. We'll jump down to the miscellaneous business frontier. Mr. O'Keefe.
Yeah, sit here or just?
Either one.
Okay. All right. Just real quick. So, thank you for letting us come in and give you a quick overview of our fiber to the home project. Billy Travis are here with me as well out of Richmond, our construction departments. My name is Mike O'Keefe. I'm the Vice President of External Affairs out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, Michigan. So basically, Frontier is going across the state, all over territories, and putting fiber to the home in. Our copper networks are older than anybody in this room, and they've outlived their usefulness. I mean, some people still have voice on them, but from a data perspective, it just doesn't provide the speeds that people need these days. So we're going into all of our exchanges and upgrading to fiber to the home. So it's fiber all the way to the home. We started 200 meg and go up to 7 gig. So very, very fast product. It is a voice and data product. It's not TV. We do have a partnership with YouTube TV, so customers want to subscribe to YouTube TV as their TV entertainment. They can. I've had it for a couple of years myself at my house and get every sports program you can think of and every program that I want to watch. My wife gets 3 Hallmark channels, so she's very happy. So there's many options from a TV perspective these days for customers. Hulu Plus, Apple TV, you name it. There's a lot of those out there. So voice and data is what it is. It's going to be available for residential and business. Our plan is to pass 1,000 locations in Liberty, basically blanket the whole town. We don't cherry pick when we go into a town. And the beauty of it is because we're the local exchange, we call it the ILEC, incumbent local exchange carrier. We've been the telephone company here for a long time. We already have relationships with power company, Duke in this case, and joint pool agreements already in place. And we're not putting up any new attachments to speak of. We're basically spinning our fiber cable right to our copper cables. So, we already have clearances and separations and everything taken care of. And 80% of those 1,000 households we're passing will be aerial. So there's only 200 that will be buried, and that's generally where, the towns are concerned. But anytime we're putting a boring rig and the areas and maybe exposing some of your utilities to potential damage. But our construction crews have been, Direct Line in this case is our strategic partner that will be doing the work. They're doing work in multiple areas. We're very familiar with the crews that are doing the work. We have comprehensive construction standards, which will be shared with you with the town. We do want to set up a pre-construction meeting, so if there's somebody that you guys can let us know who would be our contact. Or Todd Payne is our state construction manager. He's on vacation right now. He will set up a meeting with that individual, come in, share the construction standards, practices, talk to you about depth of your utilities. We know what's on the permits as far as the depth. We don't have to be at that depth though, because that may be where your taps are for your utilities. So we can, shallow up a little bit or go a little bit deeper depending on, what you guys need. He'll talk to you about that in the pre-construction meeting. We just need to make sure we get the right contact for who he would be working with. And Melissa, if you need to send that to me via email, if you guys need to decide who that is, I can pass that along to Todd. One of the things we do in the build is we want to make sure you guys don't get inundated with a lot of complaints. From an aerial perspective, you won't. It's pretty unintrusive. May have to get into some back easements, those kind of things, but these guys will tell you we door hanger all the homes that we're going to be passing, so customers know who's working there, what we're doing. And on that door hanger, it's pretty important that there's an 800 number, there's a QR code and a URL on it. If a customer wants to follow that path, it walks them through what they can expect from a construction perspective. So if it's an aerial behind their house, it tells them exactly what the crews will be doing. Buried, it shows them what the crews will be doing. It's technicians talking and displaying it. And then it has an 800 number on it that goes to an internal Frontier complaints team. If we get a call from anybody in Liberty, we will own that from beginning to end. We won't let it go until it's taken care of, when the customer says it's taken care of. That's something that we can share, if there's a bi-weekly meeting set up, whatever comes out of that pre-construction meeting, we can share that information with you. These are the number of complaints, these are how long they're open, this is the type of complaint. So if you do get calls into the town, we would advise you guys to, use that 800 number. That way it's logged, because we use that for a quality measure for the crews doing work too, because we can then track how many times customers called in on a particular crew. So it helps us, and it helps us manage that from the beginning to the end. So when we do boring, it's directional boring or missile boring, depending on what we can use in the methodology, and then the buried terminals. They're pretty short. They're about 14 inches tall. They go like on the property line in between customer properties, and they can serve up to 6 customers. Same thing with aerial. When aerial, there's an aerial terminal that can serve multiple customers. And when we're placing the aerial, we are doing some basic tree trimming, which we haven't done in a long time, I know. And we also are taking care of any bad poles that are owned by us. I think about 60% or so of the poles are going to be going on or owned by you. But the 40% that we own, we'll clean up. We'll make sure if we have any pole issues, we take care of it. Any low copper cables that are hanging right now, we clean up, take care of, those kind of things. So we haven't done that in a while. And then the other thing is we'll send you a contact list. We haven't done that in quite some time. Where if you see, a utility hanging low, or you need something done from Frontier. By the way, we were purchased by Verizon a couple weeks ago, so we're now a Verizon company again. You'll have that list, and we'll respond very, very quickly to it. So it's got Todd Payne, the construction manager's number on that, as well as some local numbers, and because we need to reconnect with the communities. With the copper plant, we were getting down to a few customers left on our network. So it's a great product, great price, and again, for Liberty, it's going to be really nice because 80% of it's going to be very, very customer unintrusive, and we'll get in and get out and get that built pretty quickly. So what questions might you have for us?
Did you say that was 1,000 households total?
Total.
So 800 hung and 200 buried?
Yes.
And then what did you say ILIC is
That's
acronym for?
That's Incumbent Local Exchange Carrier. That's old terminology. Their telephone companies were given franchised areas across the, AT&T had certain areas, we had certain areas. Back in GTE day, which I started in GTE, and Joe started back in GTE. And matter of fact, I started in Richmond, Indiana, where I started my career. And I just remember this, but at one time, did Liberty not have right down the middle of the town 2 different time zones?
No, College Corner.
College Corner. I knew it was somewhere around here.
Yep, College Corner.
I remember going there. Halfway down Main Street, they were on Eastern time, and the other was on Southern. Okay. Any other questions? Look forward to coming down here and providing an outstanding product to you guys. And again, it's a really, really good price. I wish I had.
The only thing I'm going to say, because my office is the one that gets the complaints. So anyway, I do know that when the B&B went in over here, and then they had a dedicated fiber optic line. I don't remember who put that in, but the boxes. We had an issue with one of the boxes because it was put in an easement in someone's yard, and of course it was making it hard for this gentleman to mow. And Matt, who was that? Was it Verizon that put that in?
State put it in, yeah.
The state put it in, but the problem we had is that the gentleman kept complaining, and we could not find somebody to contact. Now, I'm hoping this contact list will have somebody, like, once we get to that point,
Yes.
like, because he wanted it farther down, a little bit more level. But this is the stuff we're going to deal with, is the aesthetics part. People aren't going to want to say, like, oh, I don't want a pool in my yard, blah, blah, blah. So,
Well, you'll see in the packet that I gave you,
I did notice those.
we will be setting 4 hubs
Mhm.
for where feeder cables go into, and the distribution goes up from that. They're a little bit bigger boxes. We need to put those where technicians can pull over safely, not at intersections where they can get plowed over and 300 people will lose their service. You'll see on the permits when you get the permits where those hubs are located. But we'll work with you if we need to move them 50 feet one way, south, north, whatever that we need to not be in somebody's front, the picture window, be somewhere that it's.
Yeah, and like I said, we were never able to get it to fix because couldn't get anybody contacted, and then unfortunately he also passed away in the meantime. So
we're one company now, again with Verizon. Yeah. So when you get that contact list, if you want to take a picture of that and send it, we'll get it addressed.
Okay. Yeah. Great. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks so much for your presentation. There's no other questions for Frontier. I'll move on to Horton Hill. Go ahead and state your name and address.
Thanks for letting me come back. Sorry, it's been a couple weeks. I've had prior engagements and with the meeting being moved to that Tuesday with the holiday, it made it really hard. I'm just back again to ask about the stop sign at the intersection of Sycamore and Columbia. Assuming by now, or hoping by now, you've all traveled down my way and checked out that intersection.
Do you have to keep any type count or tally about speeders or anything like that?
I tried to kind of just keep an eye on things. I know, I was gonna say, Chief Jenkins is not here tonight, but there was a couple guys that have sat occasionally. I personally have not seen anybody since Super Bowl sit and kind of watch. I just know that because I made the joke to my husband of, hey, can you turn the TV and maybe we could tell him to angle his car a little better so he doesn't miss the game. We'll open the curtains for him. We also had some weather during that time too, so I feel like the kind of the snow and ice on the road deterred more people from going a little quicker than they normally do. But I think having an official tally sheet with 3 small kids at home.
Well, I think we've all had an opportunity to view that location, as well as the previous location at Flossie Street. Anybody from council have any more questions? Courtney?
I don't have any questions. I'd just like to say I'd be in favor of seeing the stop signs go in at that intersection.
Jeff?
Courtney, when you talked to, you said you talked to Chief Dickinson about that?
No, he was just here at the last meeting and he said he was going to send some guys out to just kind of keep an eye on the area.
So, I guess my question would be did you talk with him? Because you said last time that you thought the speeders lived in your neighborhood, but you didn't tell any of the police department guys who they were or what they drive.
I didn't speak to any of them when they were sitting. And I know they have to be visible, but I feel like where they were sitting, they knew they weren't going to speed because they could see the cruiser as soon as they came up to the stop sign. So I know they can't hide. I mean, legally they can't, but it's almost like you want them to kind of tuck back a little bit when they come up and approach that stop sign.
But you didn't come down to the PD and talk to them.
No, I didn't.
Dereck Tipton, you got anything?
No.
Guess I feel it's about this one the same as we did the one on Landon Street. Just lock down that whole block and let the residents deal with it. If they've got questions, they can address Courtney.
I'll ask individually if you want to go ahead and proceed with the ordinance. Derek? Tipton? No. Jeff? No. Derek? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
It is up to you.
Well, I know safety for adults and children are always in our mind. As much as I hate it, I just don't see the necessity of another stop sign. So
So that means that we will not be bringing a resolution adding that stop sign to the list. So it's now read.
Even with the extra traffic on Thursdays with the clothes closet and out of town people, because that is at the next block.
Well,
And that's something I brought up at the last meeting, that we do have extra traffic on my end of town and that street with people coming back and forth on Thursdays, and then with Rumpke also picking up on Thursdays as well. And that's the only four-way on Sycamore that is not, the only point on Sycamore that does not have a four-way stop at this point, until you get down to the end.
And what, a couple months to think about it. Sorry about that. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you for the.
No.
Move on to the commissioner's letter regarding the firehouse.
I just put that in your guys' packet just for a point of information, of what the county is willing to do if and when you guys decide to do something with the firehouse.
What to go before we get to that particular point. You know, remodels, how long?
I haven't really been in there. I know they're tearing stuff out of the office area, and still have Melissa's old office as the business meeting right now. Had that dumpster up there, and some of that stuff is coming out. And regarding this letter and talking to two of the commissioners, this is current appetite that the county has, so if that composition of the commissioners board changed, this can change.
That was my only, I'm gonna say, concern
Yeah.
moving forward, so just be aware, this could change.
Ross, you know the day agreed on a certain amount of footage behind there. Because I saw the guys made one, but I don't know how far they were going.
So my
how much are they supposed to leave?
Yeah, my understanding is they, Sheriff Adams wants parking along that retention wall, and in addition to like parallel parking, not angle parking, plus a pass-through driveway. So essentially 2 lanes of traffic width. So I'm guessing about half of that lot.
Once something may be done, and things change, well, we have to.
There would have to be a lot of resolution and interlocal agreements going on with that, so, I mean, it's just basically, this is the willingness they have at this point, but that could change depending what happens, how quickly you guys decide on what to do with the firehouse, and what their, commissioners make of this at that time.
Well, I think we should acknowledge that we received the letter.
You know, I can have
And, we appreciate their willingness to work with us on that property.
And 2 quick things before I send the bills down. I've been in contact with Rumpke. Our addendum, final year of our addendum with their agreement is up May 31st. We can either do one of 2 things. We can either bid it out, or we can do another 3-year addendum with Rumpke again. I prefer to do the 3-year addendum. More or less, I don't know, but there's very little, I call it sanitation services around here. The only one I can think of is maybe Best Way. I'm not sure if Waste Management. I do know they service our dumpster down at the wastewater plant. However, if you want to get some service out of there, you got to call Wisconsin, where I can just call Rumpke, and usually they're here the next day, taking care of any problems I have. Also, possibly if we go somewhere else, they're going to change our trash day. You know how many people are going to go off the wall if they change the trash.
Well, I think if they rebid, if we put it out for new bid, they're gonna take into consideration the current fuel prices.
Yep.
So it would definitely go up. So if we can lock it in another 3 years,
Yeah.
I would be for signing another addendum and at least staying with the current prices.
Yeah.
And I think they, at least what I see of my residents, they do an excellent job.
And I will say their customer service is very good. They really take care of us. So I'm just fearful what we would get into if we went another route. So I can talk to Dean and see if he'll get us an addendum put together pretty quick, which I think we'll have a problem doing that. And then secondly, you guys are going to see a little bit of difference in how we conduct our meetings here. I went to ILMCT conference last Monday and Tuesday in Plainfield, and after one of the seminars I took, we need to get a little bit more stringent with how we conduct our council meetings. So you will see a change in the agenda and how it's done, as well as I'm working with Jerry on the actual procedural process. So that will be coming. That's the first problem that will be coming that we need to solve, but there's more things coming from the state over the next about 2 years. So just be prepared that we've got major changes coming. So, but this will be the first one that we, as how we conduct our meetings, will be changing. And like I'm currently working with Jim on that. So.
Any questions from Melissa? No more laid back.
Nope.
Okay,
Bills
to pay.
Jerry, can I bring up one thing? In reflection of the jail losing its roof and speaking with the town's insurance agent, it was pointed out that we have a high deductible for wind and hail. So just keep that in mind. If we have a major loss, off the cuff, he told me, I think it's 75,000. Does that sound right, Melissa?
I'd have to go back and look at all
But
the paperwork.
it's high. So if we have something, we got to keep that in mind. But that is kind of the current climate within the insurance industry is they use a percentage deductible instead of a flat rate. And based on our total assessed values of what is insured, we have a high deductible. And if it were a much larger community, they're probably looking at hundreds of thousands of deductible versus what we have.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point that out so we don't have sticker shock if something does happen.
True.
I don't need to.
I know. Hopefully we'll Anybody else on council have anything to bring to the good of the council?
Matt, how many breaks are you saying? 13?
We're at 13, yeah.
We're gonna, as soon as
Or
we
there's just,
pass
you
it,
get
we
one
gotta
fix
go
and it
through.
snaps further down the line. Or
Well, that's, once they get, they'll get there might be 2 or 3 of them, that's 6 or 8 per second.
It's all about public access law
So,
and how we have to do
yeah.
public access.
Was there like, do you have any speculation on how that occurred? Was there a
Like,
water hammer?
like you can get 3 down there.
It just shook the ground?
Well, when it come down to an electric charge through that line, but we're assuming, never seen it that way, but that's what it done. I mean, 90% of the leaks are all on the east side of the pipe right now. Same side of the trees on, down in the woods, so that's kind of throwing us up,
Okay. I think everything been done, taken care of, if nobody's got anything else. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
At a second.
Jeff's up.
All those in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.